I've always been more obsessed with the behind-the-scenes stuff for movies than a lot of the actual movies. Hearts of Darkness, Lost in La Mancha. I've seen the 2-hour documentary about the making of the first 3 Indiana Jones, like, probably 100 times. I wish that was hyperbolic. I was a very lonely child. And adult. And it was all those special features on the Pixar DVDs and the Star Wars prequel DVDs that showed me what filmmaking was. I didn't know that was a thing people did. My favorite behind-the-scenes documentaries are the ones where you're there every step of the way, where it feels like you're on this journey with the creator, where the making of the story is the story. That's this. That's this thing. Welcome to Behind the Stuff. Now this is the ground floor. It's like the sub-basement. We have no employees. We have no budget. We have no equipment. We have no anything, but a lot of passion. A lot of stupidity, which are the 2 ingredients for success. Albert Einstein said that, maybe. Anyway, the current setup is a little... there. This is the tripod for the phone. That's a lamp. It's some hairbands, chunk of wood from a Halloween decoration, and a lot of Scotch tape. Oh, and also I'm shooting this on a phone. So it's a little low budget. But my plans for Make Stuff are huge. Yeah, huge is a good word. But more on that later. Let's talk about life. Patreon was hard to do. Usually I spend like 1 month to do 1 video, and for the Patreon launch I made 5 videos in 2 months. There was the thank you video, there was the Patreon trailer, there was the Patreon announcement, there was the Avatar commentary edition, and there was the Black Panther video. On top of that, I did 2 comics, annotated 2 comics. Shout out to Haley Roselion for whipping up those covers. Gorgeous. Oh, her and the covers. She's my wife, I can say that about her. And I also had to just make the whole Patreon page, the graphics and all the bios and rewards and goals and So it was I really busted my I'm trying not to curse on this video. Let's see how long that lasts. I really busted my butt cheeks. But it's done, and it's here, and you're on it, and it's awesome, and I love it. But I needed a break after the Patreon, so I took off for a week to Austin, Texas, and just got drunk and relaxed and got drunk. Here's what that looked like. What?
Face it up with it. Should like talk about it.
Just a little snake. Hey, buddy. Hey, snake boy. Hey! Get out of here! Oh, good times. Also, as of May 1st, I've lived in St. Louis for 1 year, and it is amazing, and I love it, and it's perfect, except for all the not perfect stuff. And it took me exactly 1 year to go to the top of the arch.
Those pods, I literally can't think of a worse place in the entire world to be stuck. Oh my god, it's the worst.
It was very tall. I'm not good with tall, but it was. Oh, look at that city though. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Highly recommend it if you're not afraid of, dying. It's so tall. Why is it so? They didn't need to make it that tall. Like, come on, guys. Speaking of tall, I don't have a segue for that. Here's another segment. So every month I'm going to spotlight the work of one of you awesome, super cool, good smelling, probably, I don't know, stuff makers. If you want me to check out your work for consideration for the spotlight, or just to check it out because I love checking out the cool stuff you guys are making, message me on Patreon, send me some stuff. This month's Stuff Maker Spotlight is shining down upon Alex Reese. Alex writes and draws and does everything for Robin and Kat, a webcomic about the cutest lesbian couple in history. And it's one of those things where it's just like you become so attached to the characters and you cry and you feel good and warm and fuzzy, and then you cry more, but it's like a warm, fuzzy cry. Alex also does these sketch cards for like every piece of media I've ever loved. Think of a thing you like, and he's done a sketch card for it. One of the best Instagrams in history. Go follow Alex on Instagram. Like right now, after the video. If you have 2 devices, just like listen to the video while you're going and doing that. He actually did an awesome sketch card for me. Check this out. So cool. So cool. Look at that. That's Ellie from Superhuman, my comic. She's depressed. That's her thing. Go check out all that stuff. Go follow all these links. There's links in the description. There's links on the Patreon post. Check it out. It's so good. It'll just make you feel nice. It makes you feel nice. Go do it. Next segment. This will be a recurring segment, so make sure you leave some cues for me to A in the comment section of the YouTube video or the Patreon or whatever. Just ask me some stuff. First question. Drew Crowley asks, what's your background? What led you to creating Make Stuff? Awesome question. Big question. I've always wanted to be a storyteller. Films, comics, music, any writing, whatever, anything. Videos, obviously. Originally started out in filmmaking, writing mostly because I'm lazy, and I love it. I love film. I love filmmaking. This is super fun already. But then I did this project that ended up sitting on a shelf, and I had worked like years on it. So at that point I was like, hey, I want to do something that doesn't cost millions of dollars to make and doesn't take literal years to do so. So I went into comics. I did a free short comic called, well, not free for me, called Neon Noir. I did another free short comic called Superhuman. Check out the annotations of those on the Patreon. And then I wrote my first full-length comic called... That's weird. Oh, that's right, because it's not out yet. Stay tuned. We'll talk about that more. Anyway, comics are awesome. I love doing them. But there's a lot of waiting for art. A page that takes me an hour to write usually takes an artist like a day to draw. So I was like, what's something I can do for free that I don't have to wait for people, and I have complete creative control, and I can just vent this bubbling creative energy. And that narrowed it down to starting a YouTube channel or like juggling. So I created Make Stuff. Make Stuff has evolved into something much bigger now, but it remains to be seen if I should have just gone with the juggling. Alexander Watson asks, is Make Stuff your full-time job, or are you planning to make it so? Yeah, a bunch, yes. Yeah, I do. I have, this thing here is how I keep track of the hours I put into this for tax stuff. I do an average of over 40 hours a week on these videos. So yeah, it is very much a full-time thing, minus the paycheck. I am very broke. Thank you, Patreon, for money. Alexander also asks, what did you do before? Awesome question, big question. I've always wanted to be a storyteller. Films, comics, music. I'm just kidding. Just rewind it. I did that one. And Alexander wraps it up with, between Iroh and Zuko, who was your favorite? Zuko. Definitely Zuko. Iroh. I think it might be Iroh, actually. Now that I think of it. No, Zuko. Definitely Zuko. Iroh. Yeah. Iroh. Well, Julie Amanda Rimley, the coolest person to have ever lived, asks, what's your favorite Himmel drop so far? All of them. But, dueling pistol to my head, I'd have to say the Decemberists song, the Benjamin Franklin song. It's just so fun. And Decemberists were like my entire summer 2010. I just love them so much. Yeah. But Weird Al. Ooh, no, Decemberists. It's so good. Does Hamilton make you cry forever? No. What tools do you use to make these videos so freaking sweet? Well, every video starts out with a $10 Bic pen and a 60-cent Sam's Club legal pad and pages and pages of notes and ideas. I write the actual script in Microsoft Word. I use GarageBand to record the voiceover. I do all that fancy animation and editing in Adobe After Effects. And I add all the music and put it all together in Final Cut Pro. And finally, Captain Morgan himself asks, do you think you'll review just shows and movies, or would you consider making videos about games? Actually, Make Stuff is called Make Stuff, not make movies or make shows or make one specific type of stuff, because I want to be able to talk about whatever inspires me, whatever I'm passionate about. And actually, my next video was going to be about a video game, but then inspiration struck and I just had to do this other thing. You know what they say, you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice unless you chase without chasing the thunderstorm. Another quote that Albert Einstein definitely probably said, perhaps. But if you want to see a video game as the subject of my next video after this coming video, go vote in the poll that's going on the Patreon right now. There's a video game on there. There's a video game web series on there. There's my favorite song in the world. There's an amazing music video. Go, there's still time to vote. There's people yelling outside. They're telling you to vote too. Everyone wants to vote for this thing. But I'll probably eventually make all those videos anyway. Shh. And hey, speaking of my next video, here's a here's a teaser. Here's a teaser of it. Let's see the announcement of it. Here it is. Saga. My favorite thing ever. The whole video is me trying to figure out how it's still so good. It's still so good. It's still, they're like 51 issues in. It's still so good. It's still so good. And that's our first episode. Like I said, this is the beginning. It doesn't get more beginning-y than this. But the plans I have for Make Stuff are just massive. They're insane. They're cuckoo bonkers. Make Stuff, in my mind, is a studio, a spotlight, a platform, a database, a inspiration machine, and a community, a family. And that family is just gonna get bigger and bigger. And the Patreon is what's gonna make this crazy butt cheeks vision of Make Stuff a reality. And it's gonna be a lot of work, and it's gonna be a lot of sweat, and it's gonna take a lot of brilliant, creative people like yourselves. And it's not gonna be overnight. It's gonna be the opposite of overnight. Undernight. Underday. Underday. It's gonna be underday. But it'll be amazing. You're gonna see every step of it because of this. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I am pumped. Anyway, thank you guys and otherwise so much for watching. I'll see you in a month. Leave some questions below in the comments for me to answer next video. And, as always, actually, hey, guys, and otherwise, a couple of really quick things before the end of the video. First of all, thank you for watching it. This is my first one of these. I thought it was going to be just like this super easy thing where it's like, oh, just really chill, like shoot some stuff, edit some stuff, put it together really quick. It'll be a fun Patreon thing. And then it ended up being the second longest video I've ever done and super involved. But I learned a lot and I loved it, and I swear to God, I'm going to get less awkward in front of the camera. But I'm pumped to see where this goes. This was really fun. And also, second thing, thank you to all my patrons who are awesome. Big shout out to TC Arkenberg. You are thoughtful and awesome. Sandy Swagger, you are very considerate and that just means thoughtful. So you're also thoughtful and just brilliant. You're brilliant. And Medium D Speaks, you make awesome YouTube videos. Hey everyone, go check out those YouTube videos. And everyone else, you're really cool. I love you all. You're wonderful. Hey, go make stuff. Bye. He actually did an awesome sketch card for me. Check this out. So cool. So cool.